Hey everyone, this is Mitchell here on my YouTube channel. Happy Monday. It's good to see you guys again. This is going to be every Monday until the rest of the season just to get hyped up for every NFL week of the 2020 regular season, but this is going to be the first time where I do picks right before even the Monday night game begins. So, we are in week 4 already out of 17 weeks in the year. They really did plan well to play a whole 17 game season, and for us to have entertainment to watch on TV. It's always a blessing to think that we do have NFL. We do have a lot of good games left in the season. So Thursday, we don't have the best Thursday night football game, but any football is football. We have the Denver Broncos, who are up and rising yet against and then Sam Darnold and company against in the New York Jets. I think the Jets are really struggling. I know they're at home, but they continue to struggle, and I'm gonna take the Broncos there. I think they're gonna win by 10-15. I just don't believe in the Jets yet. It's going to take a whole year or maybe 3 to just get them consistent again. We had the New Orleans Saints, who lost to the Packers last night in a very, very competitive game because Za'Darius Smith's fumble pretty much did it for Green Bay, and now they're at an NFC North opponent, the Detroit Lions, who upset the Arizona Cardinals by a field goal yesterday. I still can't believe that happened, especially that Arizona beat San Francisco as the only one that had it right week 1. If you guys watch my week 1 picks, I said it was going to be an upset, and it was, and now the Lions upset the Cardinals at Glendale yesterday, so that was very interesting to see when I was popping out the scores throughout the day on how the games were going. But this week, I think the Saints are either going to win by a field goal or touchdown, so I'll take the Saints, but I'm not going to be surprised at all if it's close because the Lions will really compete with them and maybe have a second win in the season. So I think that's a good game to keep an eye on. It should be decent to watch that one, and I'm looking forward to seeing the result on that game specifically. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the up and rising Los Angeles Chargers. They have Justin Herbert, they have Tyrod Taylor, but they just don't have. I don't think they have enough talent and whatever to beat Tom Brady and company. And Evans for my fantasy football team has been incredible the last few weeks. After a rough week 1, he literally has been shining, and he saved some of my points during the week. So I'm thankful to have him there. Jacksonville Jaguars, they play the Cincinnati Bengals. So Gardner Minshew III will be playing Joe Burrow. These are two quarterbacks that have lots of potential in the future in the league. So that's going to be fun, and I think the Bengals since they're at home, I think that's really going to help them with their advantage, and they still are going to have some fans, even though Jacksonville's had fans. I mean, Cincinnati is very loyal. They're one of the most loyal franchises in the league, and it's very cool on how loyal they are. And I think Jacksonville is not going to win this one, and the Joe Burrow show I think is finally going to happen. They were 0-3, and what happened was the Bengals, 13 seconds left. They were on the Eagle 48-yard line, literally trying to win the game. 13 seconds left and 0 timeouts. No timeouts at all when I watched the highlights this morning on my break at work. And then they ended up running it and literally running the clock out. No spiking, no trying a field goal, saying, "Oh, we're not gonna even try." And I think that's gonna definitely haunt the Bengals at the end of the season if they get close to a really good draft pick, or if they get close, or if it's a wild card spot if they have a winning streak. So that's gonna hurt them for future reference come the end of the season. But I see them getting their first win of the season because they've really hung close with a lot of teams the last 3 weeks, and I think they're gonna get it done that day. So we'll take them to beat the Jags. Minnesota Vikings will play Deshaun Watson at the Texans. The Texans are actually legitimately good. They beat Ben Roethlisberger and company yesterday, and they're gonna play a Viking squad that could have easily won yesterday, and they still lost by not by much. So I'm still gonna take the Texans there, and I can't believe how awful the Vikings are. Even as a Packer fan, I can't even fathom how awful they are so far. Especially that they could have easily beaten Tennessee, who is the defending AFC runner-up. I couldn't believe that they couldn't defeat them after leading almost the entire game after a touchdown or 2. We'll take the Seahawks over the Dolphins, definitely over Ryan Fitzmagic and company, but that would be awesome, though, if the Dolphins pulled it out regarding the Packers home field. They kept winning, just as an FYI. We have the Browns versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys almost beat Seattle. They were in the lead by 1. They were up 29-30 until yesterday. Watching that end of that game till Seattle went for 2, and then they ended up taking a 38-31 lead, and from there it was 31-30 Dallas, and then it got ugly from there, especially when Seattle converted a 2-point conversion. No matter what, they're at CenturyLink Field with or without fans, because there's no fans there. They still had that advantage. And Russell Wilson had 5 touchdowns. I played against him in fantasy football yesterday, and that ended up being a big troll to my team. So we'll take Dallas to rebound and get this one, but I think it's gonna be tough. But I'm still gonna take them to win it, just because I think they're due, since they didn't beat Seattle in that close of a matchup in the league yesterday. Got Arizona, who got upset by Detroit, as mentioned earlier in this video. They have the Carolina Panthers. I'll take the Cardinals here to rebound and get a win. I think it'll be a statement win against an NFC South opponent. I could really see that happening. And Carolina's been close with a lot of teams so far, but I think Arizona has too much for them. We got the Colts against the Bears. The Bears had another comeback win. Atlanta was up 26-10. And I cannot believe they blew it again. They are 0-3, Dan Quinn's squad, and I don't think Dan Quinn's going to last long in the NFL. And I cannot believe the Bears came back, but kudos to them that they benched Mitch Trubisky for Nick Foles, because Nick Foles is a former Super Bowl champion for the Eagles, and I think he was really ready just to play and get at it. And then that led to a victory. So I give Matt Nagy and the whole team and squad a lot of credit for that. And I think they're going to continue that by beating Indianapolis and Phillip Rivers, and then they're at Soldier Field, so they're back at their home field. Especially when they're 3-0, they have a lot of revenge after their second comeback of the week, and we'll take them to get that one there. The New York Football Giants will be playing the LA Rams at 3:05 on Sunday. I think the Rams are still gonna win, even though Buffalo won on a field goal against the Rams. I think they're gonna rebound and get it done against Daniel Jones and company, and I think the Giants are a long way from being good, because Saquon Barkley is out for this season. So I don't think they're gonna beat the Rams. It could be decent, but I don't see it happening. The Baltimore Ravens will be playing the Washington football team. I'm definitely going to take Lamar Jackson and company to pull this one out without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. We got a really good matchup here. We got Cam Newton and the New England Patriots, the newly rising Patriots, against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Kansas City is going to get this one, but don't be surprised if Newton and company keep at it there, because eventually the Chiefs are going to lose, and they could lose tonight. I did pick Baltimore to win on my last video last week, so it could easily happen where they beat Kansas City and really shock the NFL world that way. But I'm still gonna take Kansas City, but it's not. I think it's gonna be very low scoring, and Mahomes is gonna have a tough time with the New England defense and Bill Belichick and company. We'll have Buffalo and Oakland Raiders. No, excuse me, Las Vegas Raiders. It's still hard to say it. It's still hard to say that they're in Las Vegas. So the Raiders from Las Vegas against Buffalo. I'm gonna take the Raiders, because they're at home, and they definitely had a big win against the Saints. And yesterday they did lose, but they have Buffalo, and I think they're very due, and they can definitely beat them, even though Buffalo did win by a field goal last week. I think that's one of the bigger games of the day, so that could be one to pay attention to. Tomorrow, October 4th at 7:20, which is this Sunday, Philadelphia will play Jimmy Garoppolo and company again, and the San Francisco 49ers. What I think is the Eagles were that close to winning that game yesterday, and I think they're gonna get it done against a very inconsistent 49ers team at the start so far, and that's gonna be a very good game at the gridiron between both those teams, because they're both 50-50 either home or away, and that's really gonna lead to an Eagles win, just because they're very due after what happened, and they could have easily won the game till that offensive penalty it was holding, and they were literally gonna win the game if that didn't happen, and win by a field goal yesterday. So we'll take them there. And then Atlanta at Green Bay is the last game. That's the game. I do have Green Bay. I do have Green Bay going 4-0. It's gonna be tough. Atlanta's gonna come in. Atlanta's gonna come in really fired up and wanting their first win of the season. But the Packers and Aaron Rodgers and then Aaron Jones, they're just gonna keep rising. Allen Lazard's one of my new favorite players, and how heroic he was last night, and it was a big part in leading us to a victory. And I see a lot of growth in the Packers organization this year, and in LaFleur's second season. And Preston, and then Zadarius Smith's fumble, that was just incredible at the Superdome, with or without fans. That's a big statement win in the NFL. When you get those wins, you could easily get 1 or 2 seed for a second year in a row. So we'll take Green Bay in the next Monday night game. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and then see you later on this week for college football picks.